So, in some recent videos, I've shown off some retro consoles that I've been collecting. It's my new, well, it's not new, but it's new as in I haven't told anybody about it. But for a long time, I've had this like goal. I wanted to have a hobby where I know it's not original and other people have done it and succeeded, but it's a personal goal of mine. I want to collect every console ever made for video games, and I don't know if that's possible, but I'm gonna try. And I've been looking at a lot of these places in Japan, and I've been finding some consoles I didn't even know existed. And I've been finding some consoles that I did know existed, but I thought, there's no way I'd ever find that. And then I do find it, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like I've never played that. I don't think I would even play it, but if it's at a good price, I think I'm gonna grab it. You know, just it's a part of history, and it's cool. It's retro, and I want to get them all on a shelf in order, on a big shelf, and yeah, just have a huge collection, and I'll play them too. I'd like to have them on a big entertainment center, like a big shelf, and just have them all somehow connected to where I can just like, and I know there's like HDMI splitters and stuff like that, but I don't think there's HDMI splitters that have that many ports. I think the most I've ever seen was like 8 or 10 ports for HDMI splitting. So, and plus that's a lot of outlets. So maybe I won't play all of them. Maybe just some of them will just be part of the collection. Maybe I could swap them in and out. The major ones, you know, like the Nintendo and the PlayStation and Xbox and Sega and that kind of stuff. That stuff can go, you know, on the main shelf, I guess. But I do want to collect everything. I can buy a lot of this stuff, you know, online, but that takes away the fun of it. I like to collect things. It's like a scavenger hunt. So I like to go to places like Mandarake, which you've likely heard of, but they're very expensive, and I feel like there's a lot better places like Book Off. Book Off has a lot more locations, and they have a lot better prices, and you find a lot of great stuff there, but my absolute favorite place is Manga Soko, which is where I found this baby. This is the Sega Mega Drive. Okay, so this was the very first console that I owned as a child. I don't remember how old I was. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade? I don't remember, but one of those three. I remember, because I remember what town I lived in at the time. And at the time, I knew it as Sega Genesis, and for a long time, up until a couple years ago, maybe a few years, I had no idea that the Mega Drive was the same thing as the Genesis. Same thing as I didn't know that the Famicom was the same thing as the Super Nintendo. So that was weird to figure that out because we knew it as the Genesis. So Mega Drive, same thing. I don't like how I wish it said Genesis right here, because my old one when I was a kid said Sega Genesis, and that was really cool. And it said like high definition graphics up here, and it was like 3D and silver. It was really cool. So this one looks not as good in comparison. Like I think the one I had was more darker black, and the red looked better, and it had that silver lettering and stuff. And this one is just down here. But that doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'm just a huge Sega fan, and I really loved my Mega Drive as a kid. This one came with one controller. Unfortunately, it's not one of these 6-button controllers. I'll have to find one of those. Got a lot of dust on it. This one's got the 3 buttons. I just love what it says here. Computer video game control pad. And then down here it says trigger. Like they have to let you know what that is. It's just so 90s, you know, it's just so 90s. And like right here, I don't want to drop that. And like right here, it says like AV, Intelligent Terminal, High Grade Multi-Purpose Use. That's so 90s, like. And like the control has like these little pins, these sharp pins. Yeah, they're actually really sharp. You can probably stab yourself with that. It's got a headphone jack here because it's got mono sound, but if you plug this in, which I plug it into my subwoofer, you can get stereo sound. There's your reset button. There's that. This is hard to press down, but it was at a cheap enough price. Okay, so there we go. That's your headphone volume, which I don't really need that because I have my own volume control on my subwoofer. Here's the thing about Mega Drive. Unlike the Famicom, which is everywhere in Japan, you get tons of Famicom, tons of N64s, GameCubes, Literally everything, unless it's like Xbox. Xbox is really rare because Japanese people don't like Xbox because they don't know what's up. Alright, Xbox is great. Before you get on me with all that fucking Xbox versus PlayStation shit, I don't give a fuck, alright? I have both. Okay? They're both great, okay? So, yeah, it's really hard to find Sega products. So this was pretty hard to find, but what's even harder to find is the software for it. And when you do find software, it's very, very expensive. So I managed to find this old game, and I was talking about this game. I remembered this game where it was like bare knuckle boxing. Basically, you're fighting a bunch of these gang members in a tower, and each level has grunts and then a boss, and you're getting up to the main like mafia boss. And they'll have like power-ups that come down like little turkey leg and like a beer can and stuff like that. I might be remembering that wrong, which items it specifically was. But yeah, it was like a really difficult fighting game when I was a kid, so it was very difficult at the time, and I didn't know the name of it, and I couldn't remember. And then I think the next day, I went to Mandarake, just sort of on a whim. It wasn't really planned. And then I just went there. And, well, I was planning on getting the Mega Drive from a manga Soko, because I saw it. Well, I had already bought it, but it was raining that day, and I was riding a bicycle. So I had to wait for a day that wasn't raining to go pick it up. I might be remembering that wrong. No, I went to go buy it. I saw it, and I went to go buy it, and it was raining that day. That's not even relevant to the story. But anyway, I went to go get the Mega Drive from the manga Soko, but I decided to stop at Mandarake in Tenjin, and I saw this, and this was actually 5,000 yen. Like, that's quite a lot for an old cartridge, because you can get Famicom games really cheap. Famicom, Game Boy, PlayStation, like, all that shit, but like, Mega Drive games, and this was a cheap Mega Drive game. Like, there's more expensive ones. But turns out it's called Kageki. It's got some claymation shit there. It's really weird. Here's the back. This is the main character right here. And these are all the different bosses. And you can see some gameplay shots there. I'm going to open this up. I always loved the Mega Drive boxes. So sturdy. And here is the manual. I like the art in here. That's really cool. So, there's you, the main character. And there's like the mafia boss that you gotta get to at the top of the tower. And I don't know if I ever beat this game. I thought I did. If I did, it was really fucking hard. But I bet nowadays I could probably beat it pretty easily. I haven't played it yet, because I want to make this video first. And then I want to play it for the first time since I was a kid, as sort of maybe a live stream, or maybe just a video, I don't know. That takes me back. I remember sorry about all the light, I got a face light here, one of those ring lights. So it's very bright. It's from my face, from my ugly face. But not so good if I'm trying to show you shit. But yeah, it's got like this thing, like a fist that's taped up, and he goes boom, 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 and it cracks the screen. It's pretty cool. That takes me back. And when I see that again, I want to react to that on the video, because I feel like that's gonna give me like this, like, oh my god, that's so cool, like this reaction. Just a lot of stuff in here how to play the game. Yeah, here's the power-ups. There you go. You got like the hamburger and some food can and some power-up glove. There's the tower to fight the guys. There's like an ominous cloud over it for some reason. It's just showing you each round and which bosses are there. And it's showing you a bunch of Yankee looking guys. And as a kid, I didn't know what Yankee was. Hell, I barely understand it now. But yeah, it's just a bunch of punks. And as a kid, I didn't really understand as a kid that this is a Japanese game, because when I was a kid, this was in English. So I didn't really understand that this was a Japanese game, and these are Japanese characters. a lot of the things I liked as a kid were Japanese, and I just didn't realize it. And I'm pretty sure that's for a lot of people that's like that. You just don't realize how many things are Japanese when you're a kid, and it's already sort of ingrained into you as a child that you like all this Japanese stuff. Yeah, so that's just very interesting to think about in hindsight. Very long time ago. And here's a bunch of funny little Japanese stuff like don't stomp on your cartridge, obviously, and keep it out of the sun and don't get it wet and all that stuff. Very, very Nihon. And an advertisement for some other game I don't know about. Yeah, so there's the manual for that. I'm very excited about this. And this is what they hold them in. This is in very good condition, by the way. Very good condition. Unlike the Famicom games, which have like a lot of damage to it because of the gray plastic material getting sun damaged, or I don't think it has to be in the sun, but I'm sure that makes it worse. But it gets the yellow and brown stain, but these still stay black, which is nice. I mean, there's a little bit of fading up there, but you can't really see it. I can see it, but you can't see it, so it's a little bit faded. But it's still got a lot of good color there. This looks a lot better than the Famicom games. I like how small they are too. Famicom games are too big, but I like how small this is. Of course, I guess that's what makes it very retro, makes it very nostalgic, how big things were. Yeah, so I can't wait to play this game. I'm very excited to play this. Gonna get a huge nostalgia boner for that. I don't know if anyone else says nostalgia boner. I say it all the time when I describe the feeling you get. I don't actually get a real boner. If I did, that might be weird. But it's sort of like a mental thing. Like you get a nostalgia boner. I think I coined that term, but I may have gotten it from somewhere else. Don't remember. It's so long ago. But so I got this game too. I got this from the Manga Soko, the same Manga Soko that I got the Mega Drive. It was in the same display case. They only had like 3 games there. Yeah, it's really hard to find Mega Drive games. There's Mega Drive games that were either too expensive, and also I didn't know what they were, like, because I didn't play them as a kid, so I wasn't interested in them. I was looking for games that I knew as a kid and gave me nostalgic feelings. And they didn't have Sonic 1. And as I said before, I don't want to I can buy Sonic 1 really cheap on the internet and have it delivered the next day. Japan's really fast about deliveries. You can get stuff delivered very fast through Amazon. And here's the thing that I love about Japan, is you can order things and you don't have to pay with a credit card or your debit card or whatever. You can pay for stuff at a conveni, which seems like a waste of time compared to the next option, which is you can pay for it when it gets delivered at the door. You can pay in cash. So a lot of times when you pay by card, you get charged when it gets shipped and it hasn't been delivered yet, and it might not get delivered for weeks and weeks, and you've already been charged for it, and that doesn't seem fair to me. That's how it's always been. But in Japan, you can pay cash on delivery, which makes more sense to me. Like, why should I have to pay for something that I haven't received yet? Paying at a convenience seems silly when you can just pay at the door. There's a little bit of a fee, maybe 300 yen, so it's not that much. So, but that takes away the thrill of the hunt. I want to find Sonic 1, but I did find Sonic 2. This was at a pretty good price. Pretty good price considering it's in the original box. And I'm finding out a lot that Famicom games, there's a lot more selection of Famicom games and a lot of duplicates. But a lot of them are just the cartridges and they're in bad condition. They're very cheap. But Mega Drive games are hard to find, they're expensive, but when you do find them, they're in the original boxes with the manuals. The manuals are in nice condition, and the cartridges are in good condition. And I think that's great. And it's the same way with my Mega Drive. It's in such good condition compared to... And I've seen some Mega Drives that were in less good condition, that were cheaper. They were like half the price of the one I paid for, but they were still in pretty good condition compared to N64s and GameCubes and Famicoms and Sega Saturns. Oh, Sega Saturns, they really get browned and yellow. Anyway, yeah, it's just a prologue telling the story. It's just telling you the controls. Let's see if there's anything interesting in here. It's really just how to play, but it's really not hard to play Sonic. Not at all. If you played Mario, you can understand Sonic, except it's just a lot faster and better. Got a bunch of cute little drawings here showing the levels. That's interesting. Got some artwork there. That's really cool. Okay, and then it shows you the characters. I'm trying to get through this fast. Let's just show you this stuff. There's Eggman. There's a tornado airplane. And there's some of your enemies. If this brings back any nostalgia, leave a like at the bottom of the video. And if you're a big fan of Sonic, also leave a like. Or Mega Drive, or Sega. Tell me your favorite Sega console, or your favorite Sega game in the comment section. There's more enemies. Man, some of these enemies really bring back nostalgia. Like, some of these would really piss me off. They were real tricky bastards. Like, they're all tricky in their own way. Like, you're always gonna get caught the first time, but then you gotta get used to them. And then, of course, there's the funny little Japanese cartoons telling you what not to do with your cartridges or your console. Very funny. I mean, what's not funny is not obeying the rules and breaking your console. Especially now, considering how rare they are. You gotta take care of this stuff, which whoever owned this Mega Drive and these games clearly took care of it. I don't know if that says something about Nintendo fans versus Sega fans, but like, some of the Sega products I find are in better condition than the Nintendo products. So, these people tend to hold on to the manuals and the boxes more. And my Mega Drive, actually, I'll show a picture right here, came in the original box. Now the box is all brown and damaged, but I'm surprised they even had the box for it, and they even had the original styrofoam box inside with the imprints to put in the controller and the console and all the wires and stuff, which is really great. So I'm gonna definitely do a video for Sonic 2, which features Tails, and maybe live stream. I don't know. I've never done a live stream. If you're interested in seeing a live stream, let me know. I'd like to do some gaming live streams. But yeah, I only got 2 games for now, because Mega Drive games are hard to find, even in Japan, and they're quite expensive compared to other retro games. But yeah, this is my Mega Drive. I'm really happy to find this. However, if you click the subscribe button and you click the notification bell, the next video that you see will be even better. It's another Sega console, hint. You're going to want to see that one because I'm going to be very excited about that one. So definitely check out that video. Thanks for checking out this video. If you come to Japan, check out Mandarake, Manga Soko, Book Off. And you might pick up some cool stuff there to take back home, or if you live here, then even better. There you go. So thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you next time. He's Johnny in Japan. He's Johnny in Japan. He's the worst J-vlogger in the world. Crappy food reviews, barely